I'm telling you, this guy won't hesitate to stop somebody in the street and say, do you know who God is? Do you know who Jesus Christ is? This is the first time I've seen somebody that bold. And I thought I was a Christian and bold, but you never imagine what this guy would do. He would go to a restaurant and he would be in a line waiting to get into the restaurant. And you're thinking he's just having a casual conversation with the person in front of him. But guess what he was doing? He had a tract in his hand and he's talking to this person about God, about Jesus. And I said, whoa, this guy's got some gift. You know. But what he was doing is just using that gift, that God-given gift, to reach out to others, to let others know about Jesus Christ and God. So what is the purpose of our having a gift? So to set the stage, let's look at the purpose of having that gift at all. It's actually the last thing that Peter said in the verses, in the last verse, in verse 11. So that in everything God may be glorified through Jesus. To him belong the glory and the power forever and ever. Did you remember that last verse? And the purpose of this gift is to glorify God. It's to glorify God. There's a root word. It's called doxa. D-O-X-A. That's which we get the word doxology. Remember that? And our giftedness should virtually sing a doxology to and about God. So when we learn when we read in the New Testament about spiritual gifts, we have to remind ourselves over and over that they are given to us so we can glorify God. What Paul talked about, the gifts of evangelists and pastors and teachers to the church, which involves individual gifts of preaching and teaching to those people themselves. But the purpose is not to magnify. It's not to magnify the preachers and teachers. It's to magnify God. Elsewhere in the New Testament, we read about gifts of wisdom, faith, healing, discernment. But however those gifts may be manifested in our Christian's life, their purpose is to glorify God. So again, and we're not trying to make a list of gifts or describe spiritual gifts today, but our focus is on the fact that God gives us that gift so that we can reveal and magnify Him to others, knowing Him to be the unlimited, awesome God. In every way, this could be like a missionary purpose too. When you read about God's glory, the Bible usually means that God wants His name and His saving power made known publicly. Yes, there's a time when we have a private worship and we do our praise and worship privately. But glorifying God is ultimately something that demands publicity. Just like Pastor Joel does. It's publicity. Don't be ashamed. Don't be, humble yourself and just talk to somebody that might not know Christ. And maybe that day, I remember him telling me that because we're all as Christians are kind of afraid for rejection. I think I'm not the only one. And I asked him, aren't you, feel about rejection? I said, no. Because even though I get rejected 90% of the time, that 10%, I'm happy because they found who Jesus Christ is. So it doesn't matter if you get rejected. And most likely you will get rejected when we do that. But the key here is having that 10%, who that God is. I also have a friend right now that, I know he's searching for God. And I've been talking to him, but, doing that at work, it's hard. But I know he has a gift. And I've been talking to him about that God-given gift that he could probably use for his family. That God's gift to him, that he must understand and must discover that he needs to use this. He must know Christ now so we can know him. And these words and through fellowship to help others that we know. So God gives us that strength, the motivation, the abilities, and that's called the spiritual gift. We are to follow His leading and serve Him in the world so that other people may know Jesus Christ too. And also this purpose must be internalized. Often we use our natural gifts, our talents only to build up our personal success. How many of you have done that in your life? You know, we got special talents. Like Brother Ramil said that he was using his talent before.